And I think we all live. Good afternoon, everyone. Gloria, please go ahead and share this link. If you're joining us for the first time, you're very welcome. My name is Innocent Madi. I'm the founder of Hero Marketing. So that means I have been marketing for quite a while, and we have helped over 60 startups now. I think a bit more now. Just figure out the early stages of marketing and get a product or service to the people that the product or service needs to get to, right? So all the mechanics that happens from when you start thinking about a product to when you actually conceptualize the product to your product research, to getting it done and getting it to market. I've gone through that process a lot more times than is healthy. And so this is an opportunity to just share a lot of the things that I've picked up along the way. This is part of our marketing revenue growth challenge for small businesses. So if you would like to join that group, just indicate in the comments there and somebody will send you a link to join. It's a budding community of small business owners that are growing, going through doing multiple things to make sure that everything culminates into business success. So, as much as possible, we train our supports. What is our mission? This is exactly what it is: helping small businesses make money online. Right, that's what it is. And I'm gonna say something here just briefly because a lot of the time people come from a more traditional experience where you're trying to start a business, you get a shop. Once you get a shop, you design your shop, and people should start coming in. And they have the mindset that it should kind of happen like that online. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't happen like that at all. And the big difference is the fact that when people come to your shop, it takes some effort to go to the next shop, especially when you're not in the market where they can just check any shop they want to. Typically, when they come to your shop, the next shop is a few yards away. So they think about it. They're like, ah, you know what? Yeah. And then they patronize you online. It takes zero efforts to scroll through your page and to go to somebody else's page on Instagram or Twitter. It's very easy. And so because of that, um, you just know that you have to do a lot more. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Today is we're going to be talking about simple actions that add up for small business social media marketing. That's it. Simple things that you do that really add up. But before we get into these actions themselves, we're going to lay some prerequisites to make you understand why these actions are even important in the first place, right? So let's go over everything we're going around today. So today we'll be talking about 7 reasons why people will buy from you or will never buy from you, right? We're also going to be looking at how to make an offer that people want to buy, um, or what makes an offer that people want to buy interesting, or what makes it convincing for people to buy. The third thing we're going to be looking at is how to become a type of business that a set of customers will buy from. Right? We'll talk about this in a bit. And then the fourth thing is how to know if you're becoming that business. You know, it's one thing to know this is what you want to do, another thing to know when you're succeeding. And this fourth part is where our original topic, which is the simple actions that you can take, will come in. Okay, without further ado, let's get right in. The first section, 7 reasons why people will buy from you. Now, if there's anybody in the studio here that has any questions, just raise your hand, just in, and then we'll get right into it. So just put on the chat. 7 reasons why people will buy from you or never. Right. So one of the first things, of course, if for people I've spoken to, whether in a DM, whether in a session, or just in here that we've interacted, this is one of the things that I typically hit the hammer on. There is absolutely no point if this is not satisfied. The first thing is they trust your business. And I've had a number of people say, wait, that's why I use my personal page because they trust me, so they trust my business. So here's the problem. If you are not separate from your business, people are not sure if they are buying because of some emotional blackmail. They're your friends, so they feel like they have to patronize you, right? Or it's because they really like your product, and you don't even know yourself. right? If your friend buys from you, did your friend buy from you because they like you, they're your friends, or did they buy from you because you have a truly outstanding product? You have no way of knowing. And that's why it's very important to separate your business and make it something that is trustworthy in itself. People need to look at your business and say, okay, this is a business I will do dealings for. And this is another major difference between an online store and an offline store. Most of the time, people come to me and say, "I have this product. I've done this website. Check out my website." And I shake my head. Well, you check out the website, but what you don't realize is that most of the time, people make up their mind to buy from you before they even see your website. In other words, by the time they get to your website, they already decided whether or not they're going to buy from you. So it doesn't matter what you write on the website. It's gonna be days where they say, "Oh, make your website so colorful, make it so convincing." It doesn't matter. Alibaba was a very shitty website before now. I think they've updated the interface a lot. But the early days, it was very shitty, and people, loads of people around the world patronize Alibaba. It has nothing to do with your design. It's a lot to do with trust. So you have to first make yourself something they can trust. Later on in this talk, we'll talk about the things that you can do to make yourself post things that you can trust, a business that people can trust. The second reason is that they see a product or service, they see you having a product or service that they need or they want. Now, this is very important. They have to connect that product with a need or a want. And people say, I like to sell things that people like. Absolutely, right? I like donuts. I absolutely love donuts. Donuts are nice. Do I buy every donut I see? Absolutely not. Right? I like Nikes. I like Air Jordans because of basketball. Do I buy every Air Jordan I see? Absolutely not. Why? Because after my like is satisfied, I need to think about whether or not I need this thing. Later on during this talk, we're going to talk about how to tie your product or service to something people need, as if we still have the time, if not to push it for another day. But it's important that you're thinking about not just the fact that will people like this product, but what will people need it for? What will people want it for? If I'm selling a shoe, what will people need the shoe for? What will they want it for? And those then form a huge part of your adverts. And the third thing, this is the second time you're seeing trust again. They trust you as your solution. Exactly. 100%. They trust your solution. This is different from the first trust. Remember, I said first, they trust your business. It's all well and good. They can trust your business. That's fine. But do they trust your solution? These are two different things. And I'll give you an instance, right? I trust that Huawei is is a legit company. Of course, Huawei is Huawei, depending on how you pronounce it. It's a company that have been around for many years. They're a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company right now, or multi-billion-dollar company actually. Very trustworthy as a business. Doubt that they. I'm not going to doubt that they are in business or they're legit. Will I buy a phone from Huawei right now versus an iPhone? Well, what I'm holding right now is an iPhone, so that tells you everything you need to know. That's because I know Huawei is a legit business, but I trust iPhone's solution to my mobile phone problem. I like the way iPhone take time to craft out their solution. I like the thoughts they put into every part of the process. I like the quality. I trust their solution more. And that is why after making yourself a trustworthy business, you need to now think about the fact that people may or may not trust a solution. Here's what happens if you, as a small business, create a solution that people don't trust. You might remind them that they need something like that, but they're not sure they're going to buy it from you. So they you pick up this marker and say, hey, this is the kind of marker buy, and then they look at it and be like, Oh yes, you brought this to their timeline. They see this marker. They're like, yes, this is a good marker. I actually do like marker now. Do they click on you and DM you? No. What they do is they then go to a business that they trust or a person who's selling a marker brand that they trust, which is a solution that they trust to go and buy marker. So what your ad has done is help them is to remind them that they need markers and then help another person converts. So this is why this part is very important. They need to trust your solution. Okay, so the fourth thing, they can afford your price. I was when I put this, I was thinking about the fact that this is easily misconstrued by people feeling like, oh, that means I have to be the cheapest in the market. When we're talking about pricing in marketing as in psychology, there are there are multiple factors. It's not just price. When people talk about the alternative they forego, that's the real price. Um, is there uh I'm going to use a luxury brand example, right? Louis Vuitton is going to put a bag, and there was a time, I think 2, 3 years ago, where there was a brand opera on social media where somebody goes like, the factory Louis Vuitton uses in Italy or in China produces a bag for about $62. This is a real thing, actually. $60, and then they sell the bag for over $5,000. It was crazy. And then there was another brand that was doing the same thing and was selling the bag for a bit under $100. And people were like, wait, why? What's going on? Louis Vuitton is going to fold. People have uncovered their secrets. And I was just laughing as a marketer. I was just laughing because people looked at that situation and felt like, oh, since people have found where Louis Vuitton does their bags, they're going to go buy it cheaper. And because it's a price, nah. The truth is that people think about your price. When you tell people your price, they don't just listen to the money. They're also thinking about a status. Is this going to be worth it? And worth it mean, am I going to feel good about this price? That's really what it is. Am I going to feel good about this price? So you're thinking about it, target audience, and you're thinking about your price, and you're thinking about how to make sure that people can feel good about your price. What are its value added services? And this pricing is a skill that we're going to get to. Right? So I'm going to talk about it in a bit more detail because it's just absolutely important to get pricing right. But just know that yes, one of the reasons people are going to buy from me is that they can afford the price. All right, it makes them feel good that it's a good deal. All right, the fifth reason is that they trust that you're giving them the right price. This sounds different. This sounds the same with the first one, but if you think about it, it's very different. One, you've given them your price. They feel like, okay, they feel good about this price. Here, they're like, yes, I understand your price. I understand where you give it. Do I feel like you are the kind of person that will give me a good deal? Comes back to trust. In case you missed it, this is the third time I'm mentioning trust. This is the third time I'm freaking mentioning trust here. Um, when you walk into Game left Nigeria, right? For those that didn't know, Game is this multi-store. Is this that they have like a franchise of malls across? They had a franchise of malls across the country, and that they ran with one simple theme, which is that if you get a better price than what we're giving you, we're giving your money back. It was audacious. And the first time they came, whoa, people were like, oh my God, this is it. And again, I'll tell you, 3, 4 years after that, the game's prices became almost the same as every other price in the market. But because they had run this thing for 2, 3 years, whenever you get into a game and you picked up something, you just felt like if they put 7,000 naira on this, the price really is 7,000 naira. Right? It just had that mental feeling that these people are not cheating me. Right. And I think for For stores or product or vendors that sell multiple products, that is, you're not manufacturing your own products, you're selling other people's products. This part is important. If people see you, would they trust that whatever price that your ad shows is actually the right price they should be paying? Or do they feel like, this guy is going to cut my neck? If I see what I like, I'm just going to look for it in Jumia or something, right? So it's important that you get people to trust that you give them the right price. The sixth reason is they value your solution to their problem more than they value the money you're asking for. I'm going to pause on this. They value your solution to their problem more than they value the money you're asking for. Everything I put here ties into how you put your marketing message. It's not just enough to say something is 10,000 naira, or it's 15,000 naira, or it's 35,000, it's 200,000 naira. Is the solution more valuable? And sometimes it's about how you stack the deck, right? For instance, if I'm selling this marker 30 naira, I can put that this marker is 30 naira, or I could also remind the customer that when you buy this 30 naira marker, you get this cover, this hard exterior cover, right? That's normally charges 20 naira, but we have included it in our marker. We had this, you get the ink. The ink itself is 15 naira worth of ink. You know, you get the cover. By the time you list it, it's almost like I'm charging you 15 naira or 30 naira, but at the end of the day, you're getting a lot more from what I'm giving you. That's just some pricing. Another example I get is the dress. I'm selling a dress, right? The dress is, I put the price at 35,000 naira, right? Whoa, 35,000 naira enough. Okay, then what problem are you solving that is getting people to pick it? If I have a 35,000, if I'm selling a 35,000 naira dress, I'm going to think about occasions that require the kind of classiness that people would not mind spending 35,000 naira for. Example, prom. Wear this dress to prom and shut down the school. 35,000 naira. Boom! Worth it. Immediately. Same price, worth it. Why? Because 35,000 naira is not so much if I want to shut down the school, right? So by making that association, I can make in people's minds, I can show people that this value I'm asking for is a lot lower than the value you're going to get from it. And that's what people are asking themselves every time, right? This money I'm spending, am I going to get bigger value? So your marketing should reflect that. When you're putting your ads, be very conscious of putting side by side what people are going to get, those benefits that are going to far outweigh whatever price you're asking. And the seventh reason is they trust you. They're going to give them the value for their money. If you think about everything we've said so far, everything is talking about how to making sure your pricing is right, making sure your product is right, making sure the offer is right. This last one speaks about your antecedents, not your current offering. The only way people will trust that you will give them value for their money is if A, they've gotten something from you before and it was very good value for money, or B, they've seen people who have talked about how good a value for money is. So this is where testimonials come in, right? This is what people use testimonials for. Is this person even the person that's worth doing business with? And then they come in, and then a friend says, "Hey, this guy, I got a really good phone from him," and suddenly you become a person who can give them value for money. This is the fourth time I'm mentioning trust here. It's at the center of who you are as a business. Trust, your ability to build a brand that people can trust, is going to go much further than whatever product you're going to do. And that's why out of 7 reasons, 4 of them are based on trust. Okay, so this was a lot, and we're getting into the second section. Do you have any questions based on this, the first section just let me know. And just ask the comments. I can read the comments as you're putting it. The second section: how do you make an offer people want to buy? How do you make an offer people want to buy? So by now, you've succeeded in creating a business that people want to buy. People want to do business with. You've created a brand people want to do business with. You've created a product that people want to associate with. You've built yourself. You've shown testimonials. You've shown everything that yes, you're the person on the video. So how do you make this offer? Um, this is the first thing. You choose the set of customers you want to service. Now, I've gone through multiple business pages, and one of the very first mistakes people do is talk to everybody. I see it a lot where I go to your page and I'm not quite sure who you're talking to, right? Who are you? Who's your target audience? You have to, if you're a single product company, this is very easy. You just look at who's eating your products and then you talk to them. But the question I always get when I say this is, so what if I'm a business that sells many things, different things? How do I find out who's set of customers? Well, if you sell a lot of different things, then you need to think about what group of customers those things you sell cater to. Now, I've gone into everybody has this experience where you go into a chemist shop and you see them selling teddy bear, right? And it's crazy. Like, what the hell is the correlation? Um, don't be that business. Absolutely don't be that business. Don't sell um medical equipment and sell teddy bear. Okay, unless of course one uses teddy bear to calm the person down that's about to take injection, which is again fine. But if you don't have that kind of correlation, don't do that. Always try to sell things that are tied because you have a set of customers in mind. You cannot pursue everybody. I'll give an instance. If selling stationaries, I've always been using this marker as example because it's the thing in front of my whiteboard here. If I'm selling stationaries and I'm thinking about the customers now, I could have young students as customers, I could have pupils, I could have lecturers, I could have students. Who do I sell this market to? Who do I want to sell to? It all depends on who I feel I want to sell my next product to, the third product, fourth product, my next 5, 6, 7 products online to, right? A group of people. What do I want? Which group of people will I want to sell? And that depends on the people I feel like have spend more online, um, buy more often online, will engage online more with me. However it is I choose that group, I have to choose the group and you have to do the same. You have to select the group that you feel like, yes, is going to be the people that you want to service. The second thing is you become a business that set of customer want to buy from. If you have selected, let's say my first example, I selected that I want to sell to mothers who are taking their kids back to school, right? Or lecturers of a university, for instance. Whatever it is, the first question I'll ask myself is what kind of business will those kind of lecturers patronize, or what kind of business will mothers who are taking their students to school patronize in the first place, right? Mothers prefer a business that feels like is stable, understand kids, understand what mothers want, right? Is that what they want? Will lecturers want people business to be a bit more academic so they can be sure that this person knows what it looks like, what the needs of an academic institution is. And that would inform the kind of posts that are on my social media page, or on my digital marketing ads, or on my website, on my blog posts, things that will be helpful to that kind of person, right? The third is that you select a product or service that people actually want. So you've created a set of business that your chosen set of customers want to buy from. And next, okay, what kind of products do you want to sell? It has to be something that people want, and you don't have to you don't have to chain yourself to a single product. I see people who have sold one type of product for 10 years, right? If it's still selling, of course, sell it for Christ's sake. There's no need to change something that's broken, right? If there's still demand for it, sell it, but you don't have to chain yourself to one single product. If you've selected the type of your customers, they just ask yourself, this group of customers I've selected, what else can I sell to them? What else are they buying? If it's mothers for kids and for school, maybe they buy the marker from you first. Would they buy back to school school bags? Would they buy back to school bags? Would they buy back to school kits? Would they buy lockers for homeschooling? What else is possible? What else would they buy? Right. So that's where you need to select something that people actually want, depending on the season. I'm saying this because Christmas season is coming up, so start thinking about what kind of product you want to offer people that you're selling. And then the fourth thing is you want to find out why those people want to buy it. It's easy for me to say mothers will want to buy back to school bags, but why do they buy back to school bags? Are they buying back to school bags because their kids are just going to school? Do they go to buy back to school bags every time? They don't. They buy back to school bags because um did they buy back to school bag because their kids have spoiled the bags they went the previous term with. And here is why this part is very important. If I asked a few mothers and they say, yes, I'm buying a bag because my kids has damaged one that I just bought this last bag for her. I just bought it. It's not up to 2 terms. It's already bad. Now I have to buy another bag. Good. You know why that's valuable to me? Because now I can create an ad, or I can first, hey, go look for a bag, a school bag that I know is very strong, doesn't easily go bad. B, create an ad that says, buy this bag for your kids, and you will not have to buy any other bag. This kid is going to be very hard for them to destroy it. Now, tell me, if we have two people selling bags and a mom had a problem, her kids destroying the bag they went to school previously, and then they see my ad and they see the other people, who do you think they'll actually buy from? Of course, it's me, provided that, of course, I've made myself into a business that they want to buy from, like they trust me, and they're gonna want to buy from me. So that's why you need to know why people are buying what they're buying, so that you can put it into your marketing messaging. And then last, of course, is like you put your price, just put your price accordingly, based on the perception. It's not like based on the perception of what the problem is, of how much the problem is worth. Let's use our current example. I selected models who are sending their kids back to school. I found out that um, a number of these moms are buying bags again because the kids are destroying the ones they have. I went to search for a bag that is very hard to destroy, and then I marketed that. Buy this bag, it's going to be very hard for your kids to destroy it. How do I price this bag? Simple. I'm just going to ask around for what is the last time they bought these bags, what exactly, how much were they willing to pay for a bag? That's one. Two, how often are they buying new bags? If they buy one bag for 5,000 naira, but they've had to buy that bag twice in 2 years, right? That means I can comfortably place my bag at 10,000 naira, because I'm like, well, you can choose to keep buying bags, or you can just buy this. You can choose to keep buying 5,000 naira bags, but you just buy this my one-stop bag for 10,000 naira because I know what they've paid it for, right? So that's what the perception of the problem worth comes in, and then the economics around your solution. How much does it cost to produce the bag, or does it cost to buy the bag, to ship it, to bring it down, to clear it, to forward it, whatever it is? Those operational expenditure, how much is it? Then you factor it and place a price accordingly. The sixth thing is creating content with your solution. I see a lot of people not taking this part as seriously as they should. We just whip out their phones and create videos, and that works. If you trust it, it works too. Um, If you can create professional videos, absolutely do. This is where I'm going to plug in. If you would like to create videos, I think there are a few vendors, Era Studios on the group, definitely leverage. We just created a studio for businesses that want to create content, so it's pretty new. So let's see how it grows. We're pretty much growing the business alongside everyone here who's growing their business. So we'll see how it goes and just see if all these things we're saying actually work for everything, right? And then the last thing is you just keep running repeated ads and keep gathering testimonials. Well, now the online fair that runs every Tuesday and Friday is a place you can throw in, you can run your ads. So you just have to just continue doing it and just keep gathering testimonials as you go along. So do all these things and you have an offer that people will want to buy from. Let me check the time. Okay, we're doing not so great with time, and we're in section 3 out of 4 sections. And we have just 17 minutes left. So I'm going to try to move this into the next 17 minutes, knowing that I can only talk for 10 minutes, leaving 7 minutes for questions. So if you have any questions, just add it to the chat so that's and you just go with them at once and not have to wait by the time we don't have time. So the third section, how do you become the type of business that a set of customers want to buy from? I think by now you should have started getting the sense of this answer based on everything we've spoken so far, right? Remember again, the reason why all this is important because unlike a physical store where you might be the only one selling in the streets, you might be the only one selling in the block, you might be the only one selling that particular item in a while. So people are like, if they don't buy from you now, they might have to take, it might take a while before they see someone else who's selling it. That problem doesn't exist online. It's just a simple Google search or a simple Jumia search or a simple GGNG search or a simple Woman Store search. Anywhere I can search for anything and I can see 100,000 different other varieties of that thing you're selling. So how do you become a business that the set of customers that you've chosen want to buy from? It starts from knowing your customer. There are a number of things I've repeated here, and there's a good reason I'm repeating them. Because there's nothing else you're doing if you don't know your customer, if you don't know the group of people you're targeting. It's going to be very hard for you to have any messaging that really, really resonates with anybody. And the second one is be professional, and I'm going to talk about why I added this. I know in the group I've spoken a lot about those pages. I'll be like, oh, do you want to make this look a bit better? Do you want to make it a bit more professional? Do you want to give an artist or rather a graphic designer to help you create a banner? The reason I say that, the reason I do that is because people have to perceive that you are professional about your business. If you don't take your business seriously, how exactly am I supposed to take you seriously? Right. So it starts from your business handle, right? Again, this is why you shouldn't use your personal page for business. Have a separate business account, put it as professional as possible. Don't respond to things that are not business. Be strictly business. Be very cautious, very professional. Your business page is not where you come and buzz buzz or give like resounding responses. No such thing like that. The professional space is cautious. It looks good. It's elegant. That's what your business page should look like. The third thing is be consistent. Now, we spoke about, or we've spoken about having this daily things that you do every day to make sure that you're putting stuff out, you're putting content out, you're putting ads out. And this is the difference between the two. You can put a content that's not direct ad and you should put an ad. There are different kind of marketing. What we are focused on is demand generation for small businesses. You're not a large business that can just do content for the sake of content. Most of your content needs to be focused on getting people to buy something because you're a small business, you don't have money. So be consistent about putting stuff out that calls people to patronize something, or at least it's valuable, very valuable, that makes them think about patronizing something. All right. And then the fourth is share testimonials. I think I've spoken too much about testimonials. People are going to roll their eyes at this point and be like, well, yes, people want to know that other people have bought from you, right? So if you have testimonials, share. I think I want to tell people that you don't have to wait till the testimonial is 5-star. A 4-star testimonial is really good. It's really good. It shows that you're authentic, you're for real. That's fine. If you have testimonial, and when you make a sale or you send your product to somebody to do, don't forget to ask them to give you a testimonial. Just share something with me. Just, hey, do you mind? Just tell me something about what you think about my product, my service. Always, people will share if you ask them. They might not volunteer it, but if you ask them, they're nice people. Yeah, they might share. But the chances of share increases. And then the last one I want to say is be helpful. I've spoken a lot about you, your customer, your professionalism, your ad being consistent, and your content just being there. Be helpful. When I say be helpful, people go, oh, so that means I should start people 5 ways you can smoke fishes. Again, we are focused on demand generation. That means getting people to buy something. Be helpful doesn't mean you make an abstract post. You can make an ad that is helpful. Remember the back to school ad that we just created? Mothers that are taking their kids back to school. The problem was that the kids kept um, destroying the bags. And then I created an ad and say, hey, your kid is always destroying your bag. These bags are hard to destroy. Buy these our bags because they're very hard to destroy. And I'll go ahead and create pictures of myself like tearing the putting the bags and not destroying, giving it cool. I'm like, see, it's hard for the kids to destroy it. If a mom that has that problem see my ad, is it helpful or not? Of course it's helpful. That's why I need to A, know where to meet this mom, and B, know how to place the ad in a way that resonates with her problem. So it can create an ad that is still helpful. It doesn't have to be like a 7 ways children can tie their shoe kind of content. For it to be helpful, you can make your ad, right? And it'll still be helpful. This is the last section. I know that we're not doing so great on time. With 11 minutes, so I have just 4 minutes to talk, and then I'll allow so other people in the studio ask a question or contribute as they want to. So, how to know if you're becoming this business that people want to work with, right? How do you know? And this is where the simple actions that add up for small business social media marketing come in. These simple actions should grow this parts. These things we're going to mention here. Comments and likes. Some people be like, "Oh, but I've gotten comments and likes, and they've not make resonate. They've not resonated to anything because they are not from your target audience." Quote me anywhere. When somebody comes to me and say, since we had a social media page, it was doing very well, but we're not converting anything. I always ask to see the page, and when I see the page, I ask them, "Give me one post that you felt like did very well. Send it to me." And they sent it to me, and this is true story. The business sent it to me, and I went to the post and realized that the post actually did go viral, right? 5,000. I don't want to say anything that's making it easy to define, to know this customer, since of course, whatever I say is always between the marketer, client privilege, whatever that is. But imagine a a person who sells phones, a person who sells phones, refurbished phones. The business page went viral for vacation photos. I kid you not, vacation photos. And it came out, I was like, we did amazing on social media. We did very well. People followed us, but nobody bought. Well, you can get likes and comments, but if it's not from your target audience, it's not. The people who go on vacations might not necessarily be the people who buy refurbished phones, obviously. So you just got the wrong set of people to look at it. And that's what happens when you're not focused on the type of content that your target audience would find helpful. So if comments and likes increase from your target audience, it's usually an indication that yes, joy is coming soon, right? Because that means that they're beginning to interact with you a bit more. They're going to like, okay, okay, okay. Remember what I said? People decide to buy from you even before they come to your page or even before you show that product that you like. So by the time they're interacting with you, they already know, okay, this kind of business they can buy from. And when you show something they actually like and they're in position to buy it and they have the money at that time, they'll of course hit the buy decision. The second, and thank you so much, Ayo, for putting my attention to this. This is a very important one. Your bookmarks are increasing, especially on your ads. If you put out an ad and you see bookmark and you check and you see that the people that bookmarking this ad are actually people within your target audience. What that tells you is that people are saying, okay, I don't have the money right now, but I like what I'm seeing, and I'm going to make sure I can find it when I have the money, when I'm ready to buy. And this is a fantastic validation that yes, your content is resonating, your ad is making impact, and you're just counting down at this point. The third thing, of course, is you're getting more inquiries. If there's a way you can craft your marketing message so that you can get inquiries, do so. A customer that comes to your DM is a customer that can easily reach you next time. Especially if you take the opportunity to wow the person with your amazing customer service. Boom. Just count down. Just count down. It will happen. And the fourth is referrals to your business page is increasing. So referrals is a different concept from conversion, and we use it in social. We use it in marketing to denote, or in social media marketing specifically, to denote clicks from social media to a business page. So if you have a store online or you have a website and you're linking people to that website, then they become this referrals here um tell you whether or not people are trusting what they're seeing, because it's very hard for people to click on link, very hard to click on link on social media. I'll tell you, very hard. So if they can click on your link, that means you've intrigued them enough that they're now curious and like, okay, what else does he have, what else does she have, let me see. Right, so that's usually a good thing. um and this is where I'm going to plug in this. I'm saying this specifically for people who are in the group and haven't joined this challenge yet. If you notice, we've gone through 32 slides talking about how people would not hit the buy decision until you are a person that they can trust. And that's why I laugh when people come to me and say, they want to get, well, by the way, because we XAPT, that's a section of HERA, helps you get social media marketers if you want somebody to, because I'll talk about that a bit, if you want somebody to help with this thing. But you get to people come to us or to the people who run the and say, I I want to get a how much is it to get a social media marketer? And you say, oh, it's 150K, you get somebody good, and then they say, okay, so what am I going to get in 1 month? And like, what do you want to get in 1 month? A lot of people say this because their understanding of the internet comes from their understanding of traditional businesses, where if you go to a great place and you open a shop, people will walk in and buy, and the only thing you need to do is to shout very loud in front of your shop, and people will notice you and buy. Absolutely doesn't work like that online because people have choice. People can notice you and still go back to where they sell from and buy. People notice something in your shop and still go back to their trusted vendors to buy. So your first and foremost responsibility online is to become somebody's trusted possible vendor. And trust takes time. I'm saying this for every marketer here. Take the time to build your trust. It is fine. And I joined social media for 4 years now. Is that not enough? No, if you've not started doing strategic things every week, it doesn't count. The 1 month challenge is running. Take your time to understand what those activities are and do them every single day. It has activities for every single day. Do it every single day for the next 12 weeks. That's exactly how it's an amazing way to build that goal. Um, and then, of course, I get the question too that yes, I would like to be consistent. I would like to take time to build out trust, but I don't have the time. Yeah, it's fine. Outsource, outsource. Yes, hire somebody. You don't have to hire her to do it. All right, hire someone you feel like can do it. Hire a cousin, hire a friend. Okay, don't hire a friend. Just you know how to, because it requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of consistency. So hire someone that can do it. There are two things you need to hire, especially for social media marketing, content creation. If you're happy for those two things, you're good to go. And you can move and focus on your business or do other things. But yes, outsourcing can help you stay as consistent as you need to be. And that said, we come to the questions part of this, and I'll let Yolanda and I introduce themselves, just tell you a bit about their business, and of course, ask any questions they want to ask. Um, Yolanda, can you go? If Yolanda is not ready, Ayo, can you go? Call for Yewande or Ayo. Okay, okay. Um, it doesn't seem like I have Yewande and Ayo online right now, but these are two amazing small business owners who have been pretty consistent in building their businesses, and wanted to hear from them if they have any recent questions. That's
Yeah, good afternoon.
good afternoon. Finally,
Yeah. I wanted to send a test before, like, let me just talk.
yes. So
So,
before you ask the question, talk about your business. Tell people what you do. Tell them where to find you.
okay. The name of my business is IoT Interiors and Bags. So, what we do is we specialize in making home decors like beddings, curtains, throw pillows, the things that makes your house beautiful. And so that's one aspect of the business. The second one is creating utility bags like school bags, travel bags, and lots more. Then party souvenirs, that one is for events. And yes, but I also have a YouTube channel that is where I teach and give out my knowledge. So that is what we do. We right now we don't have a physical store yet, so we run mainly online. And the products I'm pushing right now for the campaign is the digital mat. So the digital mat is affordable bed, but the difference between this and the regular bed is that compared to other products in the market, because it's always these big firms like Mocha and Vital Foams that make leisure mats. This one is very, very comfortable because of the material used and the durability. I've been selling since 2019, and I've had a lot of reviews. I've had a lot of feedback that are good. So that's why even we have to remodify, because there was a time I was making a particular design and people complained that maybe it was shorter, they want it to be wider, they want it to be this. So that's why the current design right now is what people want, and we've been selling. So that is it. Like everything you said is what works in the normal business offline. But the thing is, the game online is different from the game offline. Game online, you have to put a lot more effort. That is why it's really, for now, maybe right now, maybe sales are not much, but I believe with what I am seeing due to my experience, I know that very soon, if I continue in this path, it's going to turn up for me. So I really appreciate what you are doing for us as small business owners, and it's really helpful. I really have to appreciate you for that. So that's all I have to say.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayo. I said I'll always give Ayo shout outs when I can. Check them out. Check her out, Ayo Team 2 Years on Twitter. Really awesome foldable mats for people who are good who go to videos, right, or picnics. Those where you go to a place where it's just nice to have in your car. Just have it in the boot of your car because you never know where you be, and somebody will need to stretch their legs. Right, it's nice to have that. You just it's a mat that can become a bed anywhere in the great outdoors, and you're made. Right, so that's good. But then just hear from her who's been selling since 2019. The game online is very different from the game offline. You can open your shop and sit down with your shop, and somebody will come and ask you how much and buy. Right? Online it would never work like that. It could, I mean, but you don't want to leave it to chance. People have a lot of options. People have a lot of things distracting them. Just when somebody wanted to click buy, that's when there'll now be breaking news. Donald Trump won election, and they just forget about you and go and miss Donald Trump. I'll go and look at Donald Trump's news. There's a lot of distraction. That's why you have to be consistent. You have to keep pushing, and it takes time. But I tell you, it works, right? There's a client of ours that have. I think they're celebrating like 30K monthly recurring revenue. And this they started campaigns in 2020. They had a bit more funding, but they kept pushing, even with their funding. That's what I'm saying. Like they had funding, they had business, they were funded in dollars. Still, all of us saw sweat. It was really, really difficult. But once it's rolled in, I get a set of people that say, "Oh, I love this." It just keeps rolling like that. So just stay at it, just keep at it. You never know. It will happen. All right. Thanks so much for that addition, Ayo. I don't think we have Yewande yet. If we don't have, I will spend a lot longer than one. So I think it's 4 minutes past 3:30. So for those that have watched up till now, thank you so much. Huge shout out to Boaz. I see your comments. That's good. And Olare Waju. Um, and if you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the group. For now, thanks so much, everybody. And see you when we see next Thursday, right? Yes, next week Thursday. Bye.